Hey folks, welcome back to the Mr. Global channel. Today, we're going to go through how much natural gas the United States is going to have to produce to meet our demand by 2030. I'll tell you the cost, how many wells we got to drill, how much pipeline we got to build. These are like staggering numbers. And understand something, these numbers are as high as they are because of the policies of the current administration. And a failure to meet this, well, you know what that means. I talk about your electricity bills all the time. Now, before I get started, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate all my new followers. So let's get into it. We're going to start with this clip by Donald Trump.
We will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States. They're killing us. They're killing.
And understand something. He's not completely lying. So the only wind projects that are allowed to move forward are ones that have already started under the Biden administration. And even not all of those have been allowed to move forward. So there will be some wind energy built, but nothing that will be approved by his administration. He's telling the truth. The wind industry has already dropped by 50% in the last 6 months. But what will these policies mean for electricity, for how much power we're going to lose because these wind projects won't be completed? All the experts and analysts agree that we are going to lose roughly 80 gigawatts of electricity due to Donald Trump's anti-renewable policies. What does that mean? 80 gigawatts of electricity is enough electricity to power 20 million homes. It is roughly the same amount of power that we have in totality in the United States right now with nuclear energy. Imagine if we just got rid of 100% of all the nuclear energy in the United States today. That's what these policies are doing with wind energy. But how is that going to impact us? So if we get rid of this wind and we don't implement it, it's going to have to be replaced with something. And that's going to have to happen in the near term, right? So that's not going to be nuclear. It takes nuclear projects decades. So that means natural gas. So to generate, 80 gigawatts of electricity with natural gas, you need over 7 billion cubic feet of natural gas a day, in addition to what you already produce. So that means by the year 2030, we need to produce an additional 7 billion cubic feet of gas to replace the wind we're not going to realize. And then what you want to do is you want to add how much natural gas we're going to have to produce to support data centers that are coming online like crazy. That's an additional 14 billion cubic feet of gas per day we're going to need by 2030. That puts us up to 21 billion cubic feet a day more. But then you have to factor in how much natural gas demand is going to rise due to rising temperatures. And if you just look at current trends and rising temperatures, by the year 2030, we're going to need about 3 billion cubic feet a day more of natural gas to cool our homes just on the current trend of temperature rising due to climate change. So that puts us up to 24 billion cubic feet a day. What about LNG export growth? Oh, that's an additional 20 billion cubic feet a day of natural gas. So that's a 44 billion cubic feet per day rise by 2030. Oh, but there's more because we're converting coal plants to natural gas plants, and that's going to add 6 billion cubic feet a day. So what that means is we need to add 50 billion cubic feet of gas per day in the next 5 years. 50 billion cubic feet of gas per day by 2030. In the last 5 years, we added 10. In the last 5 years, we added 10 billion cubic feet per day and reached record production levels. That 10 has to become 50. If that seems like a lot to you, it's because it is. It's an enormous amount. It's something we've never come close to accomplishing. What type of work would be required for us to accomplish that? About 13,700 natural gas wells need to be drilled a year. We currently drill about 4,000. So we need to more than triple the amount of natural gas wells we drill. And that does include associated gas with oil wells, but it doesn't include just oil production. And the reason we need to drill so many wells is because existing wells decline by 20 to 30% per year. So we have to drill enough wells just to maintain production, which is about that 4,000 a year. And then we need to drill additional wells to add to production. And the more wells we have to drill to add to that production, the more additional wells we have to drill year after year to maintain that higher production. That 13,500 wells, that's just the first year. 2-3 years into that, it could be 15,000. It's because as we deplete the natural gas resources from underneath our feet, we will have to drill more and more wells as they decline faster and faster and faster. We're going to be chasing something that's running away from us. That's at a cost of over $100 billion. Over $100 billion just to drill the wells. Oh, by the way, over 5,000 miles of new pipeline has to be installed to carry that gas. And that's assuming 42-inch pipeline. That's a big pipeline. You're looking at about $25 billion for that. Now, according to Deloitte, which is an awesome resource for oil and gas information, very good company, right? If we really get after it, we can probably get to 120 billion cubic feet per day by 2030. We got to get to 150. We got to get to 150. Understand one thing, because they're going to say, oh, we're going to use nuclear. There's not going to be any new nuclear plants that haven't started construction yet. They're going to be done by 2030. That's not a thing. That is absolutely not a thing. Now, here's a really big number, because there's something I haven't talked about. That's high voltage transmission lines that are going to have to come with all of this. We are going to need 110,000 more miles of high voltage transmission lines to meet our needs by 2030. That's a 60% increase over what we currently have at a cost of about $750 billion. In the last 5 years, with all the subsidies and everything in place, we've built less than 2,000 miles of high voltage transmission lines, and we need 110,000 by 2030. So when I say that your electric bill is going to be more than your mortgage, this is why. Because how far we fall short of each one of these things we have to do only increases your electricity bill even more. How far we fall short of achieving that 150 billion cubic feet a day of natural gas production in the United States increases your bill. How many miles of transmission lines we fall short of building increases your bill. How many data centers we build increases your bill. How much LNG we export increases your bill. Now let me ask you something. In this country, in this political environment, do you think we can accomplish even half of any of that stuff? We have to drill 5 times more wells than we were just drilling under record production. We have to increase the amount of transmission lines we build by 50x. So when I say this is going to be really bad, it's because I am looking at every single thing we have to do that we can't possibly do. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I really appreciate all my new followers and subscribers. I'll be back in a little bit. Thanks, guys.